I want to start off with talking about how the media glamorizes a lot of the things with dating and relationships and sex and a lot of other things. I'm going to make it real quick. The media does a very good job of making the bad stuff look really good. And the stuff that's good sort of look bad and kind of not important. Don't go for what the world tells you about what dating should be. But instead, we want you guys to look at the Bible, because the Bible was around a lot longer. The last section of it was written about 2,000 years ago, and that's still a lot more time before the worldly view that is glamorized on TV and magazines and in the media of how dating should be and what they think it is. Instead, look at what God says in the Bible and go to there before you get something else in your head about what you should do with pursuing another male or female, whatever it is that your opposite is. Another kind of, the first kind of dating that I want to talk a little bit about is recreational dating. And that's just going around dating because you like it, or because you thought they looked beautiful or they were really cute. And it's purely dating for the fact to satisfy emotional and physical fleshly desires. And this yields nothing in the kingdom. It doesn't do anything to build you up. It only exists to satisfy yourself. And another kind of dating I want to touch on real quickly is missionary dating. And missionary dating is where, say, I'm a Christian, but someone I want to pursue and date is not. And you think in your head that it's all going to be grand, that you're going to be able to invite them to church, get them converted, and then go on to a great marriage relationship with lots of Christian babies. But a lot of the times, what this actually becomes is you let them in, and then they begin to change you instead of you change them. And it becomes this big problem of an unequally yoked relationship. Now, you may be asking what a yoke is. Back a long time ago, before we had tractors and stuff, they used to plow their fields with livestock. And the thing that harnessed the power of two or more animals, in this case oxen, was a yoke. It was wooden and it rested on their shoulders, and it made the two become one. And what happens when you have a really tiny baby ox and a big strong man ox to work with? They end up plowing in circles, and that doesn't do anything beneficial. When you go to a farm, you want to see nice straight lines in the plowing. And that's what an unequally yoked relationship is. And it says in 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 14 through 18 in the Message, "Don't become partners with those who reject God. How can you make a partnership out of right and wrong? That's not a partnership, that's war. Is light best friends with dark? Does Christ go strolling with the devil? Do trust and mistrust hold hands? Who would think of setting up pagan idols in God's holy temple? But that is exactly what we are. Each of us a temple in whom God lives. God himself put it this way: I'll live in them, move into them, and I'll be their God, and they'll be my people. So leave the corruption and compromise, leave it for good, says God. Don't link up with those who will pollute you. I want you all for myself. I'll be a father to you, and you'll be sons and daughters to me. The word of the Master God. And this goes to say that God wants you to surround yourself with people that are like-minded so that you don't end up plowing in a circle. And now that we've covered worldly dating.
I want to go off what he was saying. I was in a type of relationship that I guess was missionary dating. My whole life, I had grown up in the church hearing exactly what Zed was saying, that Christians should not date non-Christians because we cannot change them. If anyone were to change, it would be the Christian. And when I got involved in that type of relationship, everyone was kind of telling me not to, but I was very stubborn, and I had the mindset that, well, they don't really know my relationship with God, and nothing can change. And that's exactly what happened. I did change. I got involved with things that I shouldn't have, and I just neglected my relationship with God. And then I got involved in another relationship, and I went through some things that no one should ever have to go through. And that it's so important to remain faithful to God and to not stray. You know, you need to be in a relationship that's equally yoked. And it's kind of like oil and water. You know, this is my mindset. They don't mix. We could stir it up and try to make it work, but still it's going to separate itself. But this is what we need to do. We need to be in a relationship. They do mix. They go together. And that's the type of relationship that God wants. And now we're going to go on to Christian dating. And what is Christian dating? Christian dating is a relationship between a young Christian, or young, old, whatever, Christian man, woman, okay, who follow Christ. It's a relationship where God is the center. It's a relationship that lives by the book of 1 Corinthians 13. It's pretty much defines what God's idea of love is between a man and a woman. You might know it. 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7, it says love is patient, love is kind. It doesn't envy, it's not quick to anger. It doesn't keep record of what was done against you. And that's the type of relationship, or that's what this relationship has. And this relationship has the ultimate end of marriage. And we're going to have some steps for you guys to take. The first one is,
all right, you guys, when you first want to start going into this thing called Christian dating, a good place to start, it's not the absolute law, but a good place to start is to start out single. And when you start out single, first of all, be happy about it. Don't be like, poor old me, I don't have a girlfriend or boyfriend, and I just want to try and look for them wherever I can find them and do that. But instead, be happy about being single and use this time to grow your relationship with God. And He'll mold you into what He wants you to be. But if you've been dating around, just to date around, and you've always had a girlfriend or boyfriend, try this. I challenge some of you guys to take a break from dating. Use that time to grow with God so that growth with God can turn into a marriage relationship later where you'll be much better off from it. And I have a verse here for it, and that's 1 Corinthians 7, verse 32-35 in the New Living Translation. It says, I want you to be free from the concerns of this life. An unmarried man can spend his time doing the Lord's work and thinking about how to please Him. But a married man has to think of his earthly responsibility. His interests are divided in the same way. A woman who is no longer married or has never been married can be devoted to the Lord and holy in body and in spirit. But a married woman has to think about her earthly responsibilities and how to please her husband. I am saying this for your benefit, not to place restrictions on you. I want you to do whatever will help you to serve the Lord the best, with as few distractions as possible. The message puts that last line in a way that I really like, that makes it a little more powerful. And that's the time and energy that married people spend on caring and nurturing each other, the unmarried can spend in becoming whole and holy instruments of God.
Amen. All right. The next thing you need to do is you need to spark up friendship. Get to know one another. God has created us to be in fellowship with one another. Romans 12:10. Be devoted to one another in brotherly love. Honor one another above yourselves. Get to know one another. Hang out as friends. Hang out as friends with other friends. And if you're in a situation where you kind of like someone and they tell you that the feeling is not mutual, just back away, because that's the easiest way to lose a friend. And if it's the other way around, someone likes you but you don't like them, please do not lead them on, because that just messes with their emotions and it's just not nice.